let us take the example of this, like we saw like here, ch comma ch dot upper. Now let us try something interesting for the list comparison. And what is that interesting? Let's say you have some number. Okay, so let's say you have a number like take the number as a random. We will take a random number or random range. I will do something interesting like in real time. What happened? There's a model called random, and I'm importing by using called import random now. Now let's say I want to create a random range. So how to create a random range now? So anyhow we are going to learn the topic like random, the model topic itself. In that we'll understand more about model. But just to know what is this random include, we can use a method like function like a dir. After importing any models, you can just say dir of random now. Now what is the output of that? You get all the methods which are associated with the random. And there are many more methods available because it's a model. We have a function like random range. We have a function like a random int. You will see there is a random int. This kind of functions are available. Now we also have a random range also. Now what this random number do is actually create a random number itself. Okay, so this is something random dot, let's say random int or t, or let me show first random int. In the random int, what happened? We actually create we get any random number, and but then we are setting the range here. Let's say 1 to 100. Now what will be the output here? Any one number it will be displayed here. Any one number. You run it one more time, you'll have a different number. But the range will be 1 to 100. So numbers will be from the range 1 to 100, but randomly numbers will be generated. Now let's say I run this for a for loop for I in a random.random int print I. What will happen in this case? One number will be generated, or this is because it is generating one number, we are not able to see the output. Why? Why we are not able to see? Because it is going to just generate one number. We want this to be generated 3 to 4 times or 5 times, right? Oh, one thing is here print I should be done, but there is only one number right now, so we cannot iterate this int. Now we want what? Random.random int should be run for at least for the 4 to 5 times and create a one list itself. So can we create the list by adding it? So what we have to do is we have to create one list for that. So how to create a list of random number and how to append it? So in this case, you need to understand some advanced concept again, and that is again the list we have to create. So let us create a list now. Let's say I'm creating the R list. This is our example. Okay, now here I'm saying that create a list, R list as a up. Now this is like a list now. R list is a square bracket, it is a list now, and I want to add append random int anything, 1 to maybe number you take 1000, no problem, whatever the number you take it, because it is going to be done in one number only at one time. And this you did it append for five to 6 times. Now what is going to happen now? Can you tell me the interesting output? The output will be something interesting now. It's a random number list. Now what we are achieving here, can you tell me?
I really didn't understand the output.
Yeah, so this is a output, like you don't understand this R list first of all?
No.
R list is just a new object we created, which is of the type list now.
Okay.
This is just a simple list we created, right?
Okay.
Now this is an empty list. R list is like L1, L2, like we created previously, book list actually. So this is an empty list, and then you actually have appended these items. Appended means append.
I know you have appended the items, but I didn't
What
understand
append
the
we did?
output.
What append we did now?
Some random number.
Random number. So it could be any number. So every time if I append, it is going to be appended in the list only, right? So this way, one by one, each and every item is added. Now let's say I run one more times. So what will happen in that case? Let me run this. This is the empty list which we have. Now we added one item, and now this will keep on changing. Why? Why this will keep on changing?
It's a random integer.
Because we are just running the random integer, so it is going to have a random number, and that's why if I now have this R list now available, R list is the input now, final input, which is coming from the, this is the input which we have created. So this is our final output now. It is stored in the R list, and now after doing that, if you write this in a range, say number X for X in a what R list, what will be the output now? Some numbers will be printed here, right? It is whatever the output, we just iterate it now. Now here we'll write logic like if X percentage, let's say 3 modulus. So X percentage 3 means it's a modulus symbol, right? Not equal to 0, and if X modulus 5 not equal to 0. So what is going to happen in this case now? Take anything like maybe 5, maybe something 3, or anything you take it. What is going to happen in this case? It is going to filter.
Yep.
Yeah. So this if is what here now it's a filtering.
Yep.
Here this is I'm trying to say it's like a case study. See, we instead of creating the the list as a, directly, we are creating using some logic. The list is created dynamically now. This way of creating list is like dynamically. Now this value will change. This value will change. This will change. The output will also change. Now here there is something interesting now. Okay, here we don't say if here. Just one more time only. Yeah. So now here what will happen? First the input was this. We filter it now.
Yep, I understood, sir.
Yeah. So, but then the difference between the previous range function and the random function, what the difference you see here now? In the previous range function, we were knowing what will be the output. Like we were knowing, okay, there will be a 2 to 25 element, and then we are going to filter. But in the case of random range, because this is a dynamic list, the output will keep on changing. And then the value also will be keep on changing. Why? Because we are generating the number dynamically.
No, this doesn't make any sense, right? There is no logic behind it, nothing. Why will we use random list? Why do we want this random list? I mean, in real scenarios, it's not helpful anywhere as far as I know.
Let me tell you, like for example, in the password. Now, you know what? You need to create a key, unique key for that, unique password. Every time you don't want, somebody to steal the password.
Yep.
At a security perspective, what you want to create a unique number every time, and then this should keep on changing. Okay. So what's the benefit of that? That somebody if hack, like let's say you know the password, then you're not able to use the same password next time. In the VPN, what you do? In the VPN access, they don't have the generally what happens, they create every time new password. But then how this password is generated? By random key only. So randomly these passwords are generated. So random is a very important model actually to generate something unique and then dynamic, so that nobody actually hack your data, nobody actually and then and there's a range actually. The benefit is like there's a range. We know like the output is from the range, so we are now aware like this should be integer now. Okay. So we use in many applications where we want to run some program randomly. Let's say having 1 to 10, and we want to run every time. So we want to play the game. Let's say. you know, in the game, like you want to play the game and you want to say, okay, oh, who is the winner now? So randomly we actually select any number and say whoever actually, you know, comes as a lucky number, lucky draw. So lucky draw is like a random number generation again. So that is, so what we try to do here in this case, we try to learn two things. One thing is how to use a model like a random. Okay. The other thing is we try to understand. We created a list also now, and we added the items into the list by generating the random number.
Okay.
This is like a how we can use, you know, all the things what we learn. Like we understand what is list now, but now we want to use the append function to create a dynamic list.
Okay.
Now this dynamic list can be used for storing the dynamic number now.
Yep.
Right? And now after that, let's say I want to use this. I want to see who are the luckiest 5 winners. First 5 winner.
Okay.
So now there are thousands of people, you know, who applied for something, you know, who actually who are the part of the game now. And I want to select only first 5. How I will select the first 5 now? So I will write some logic thing. What I will do, I want the transparency. So I will have this game now. The game will be like, okay, I need a 5 items. So I will actually append the 5 item now in the list. And then I will have the first draw of the first 5 magical number. Now this number become magical number then. Because you don't know what will be the exact number also. Okay, there are thousands participants, but whose number will be the luckiest number, you are not aware, right?
Yep.
Now in this case, you will be aware. Okay, now let's say this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So right now there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are finding out 7 luckiest people from 1,000 now. So you selected some number. Let's say you are playing the Hojieri or something like that, or some what you can say some game, and let us decide your number and see whether you are the winner or not. So if I play the game right now, let's say I decided the number should be something let's say 300, 320, something like that, which is not in this list right now, and I like to see whether this 320 will come or not. If the 320 can, means I'll be the lucky. If not, then so this is just the fun, right? So this can be used in the playing the game also. This, remember this, like this kind of methods are widely used in the programming.
Sure. Okay. So we'll shift the topic. Let's not go through this topic. We'll go to the next topic. Right. I don't know. I'm not feeling that interesting. So that we'll shift the topic. Next topic we can go.
Yes.
Then if I have any issues, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, this is something which is it is a model topic actually, which is there in the model actually. Our next topic is a model only. In that, this will be more clear. Anyhow, so now objective was to to practice the list comprehension by different example. You have to try different example to practice the list comprehension now. Now we'll be actually going for the next topic, that is a dictionary comprehension. Now we understand what is a dictionary comprehension. Like the list comprehension, there is a dictionary comprehension there. So what is dictionary comprehension now? Let us write the definition for dictionary comprehension. So we have one definition for the list comprehension here. This is there. Same way is a list comprehension. So there is a list comprehension. Now the difference is there. That only I'll tell you what is that. In this dictionary comprehension also, we'll have the same thing. That is a technique by which you can apply logic on one or more sequences, right? In the dictionary comprehension. But here it is like we are applying on the logic on the dictionary itself and creating the new dictionary. Okay. So instead of saying the sequence, we'll be having the dictionary itself. So how we do it, I will show first of the example and then I'll come back to the theory also. So now dictionary comparison is written in the dictionary bracket. So let's say you have some keys and value pair. Okay, let's say you have books now. Books is a dictionary. Or take any dictionary. Take the example like creating one dictionary. Let's say one dictionary we'll create now. It's a language dictionary, and we'll say language as a C language. CPP. Just the key and value. Now this is, let's say, language dictionary now. You can add any name, right? Now let's say I want to access the key and value pair, and I want to modify also and create a new dictionary. I can write one logic here in the dictionary bracket itself. I can say here, instead of square bracket, now I have a dictionary bracket here. And in the bracket, I'll say I want to have the key value k comma v in. So here, I have to write first thing is the expression. Then we'll say for k comma v in. Now we need to know dictionary method. LAN is a dictionary now. Right now we created that. It's a language dictionary. Maybe I could have written LANG for a more understanding.
But what is this k comma v?
Yeah, k comma v, they are the variable, right? For the key and value. We are
you're storing it.
Yes. So we want to iterate this dictionary now.
But you have already stored in something called language, right? So why do you want to store in this variable?
These are to iterate, not to store. I want to access it one by one.
Oh, iterate meaning
like we did the
access
for
one
here,
by
right?
one.
For X in a R list we did here. So X is a to iterate the data from the R list and accessing one by one. You store in the R list and you're iterating here. So in this case, k comma v, the other variable, right?
Iterate meaning obtaining one by one.
Yes, accessing it one by one.
Verifying or accessing. Okay.
One by one, you are going to access it, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Here we are going to iterate it. For k comma v in a language, language is what? Dictionary. Now we need to understand. Okay, I think you need to practice on dictionary, because if you are not practice on dictionary, then things will be not clear. You need to know what the dictionary include then. What are the methods are there in the dictionary? So I have one method like a language.item. This is one of the methods. So what this include now? It shows the dictionary with a list. It has converted this to list of tuple right now. So you have a, like, whatever the dictionary is there, now it becomes like a list of tuple now. So this is a built-in method. Like that, there are many more methods which you can practice it by just putting the dir of lang. Like we have method like a keys method, values method, items method, pop item method. So many methods are there. So these all practice can be done. So now I'll be using one of the method called items method.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to use a dictionary now. I'll just say here k colon v, because it's a dictionary, for k is, it could be anything. Okay, they are just variable. K for key, v for value. Otherwise you can have ij also. Remember, they are just the variable. We are creating it we are the variable which we are creating dynamically. So we are now creating it by just writing the syntax here of dictionary comprehension, where first thing is the expression. The second thing is a for loop now. Now, because in the dictionary we have two things. Like we have one thing is key, another thing is value. In the list we have what? Only values are there. Means we have list of object only. We don't have key in the list, but we have what? Index. But they are not a visible index. If we access it, we can actually see the index. But in the case of dictionary, as it is a collection, and collection of what? Key and value pair, we have a two items, we have a two things to store then. One for the key and one for the values.
Okay.
And that's why we have taken the two variable now.
Okay.
Let's say for k comma v in list dot item. This is a method we wrote. So let us see now what happened. Okay, we have to see the method list dot. Oh, it's not list, sorry. This one, language.items. We have created language, right? I just items. So now what we did, we just iterated this now. And now we are going to perform some action on it. We are going to say, okay, I want my key should be uppercase. I will just say key dot upper and value should be upper again. I'll just write method upper here. See the interesting part now. You got dictionary, it was in the lowercase first, and now the output is an uppercase.
Uppercase, yeah.
Got it now? So this way you can modify your dictionary by writing your own logic. So let's say you want to inverse the dictionary now. What is inverse means? The inverse means
change the order.
You want to make it like as a key is a value right now. So right now, let's say key is a C language, C, and value is a C language.
Swap.
Instead of that, we want to make C language as a key and the C as a value.
Yeah, you're swapping.
Yeah, so it is called inverse. So how we can inverse it now? Now same logic, only small change I will do it. Instead of looking at the key dot upper, I will just say opposite now, because this is the output which I am expecting. Let us see what happened.
Got it.
We just change it, right? We just swap it. We just say instead of k dot upper, we just say v dot upper first and then k dot upper. The result is this C language, which is now language 1. You can store this directory, and this language 1 has become the new dictionary now. Now here in this case, the original dictionary was having the language where C was the key, C language was a value, and here now it is opposite or inverse, you can say. And that way I can see the language 1 dot, I can find out actually which are the keys now. So I can just find out the keys now. I can just find out values also by the method called keys and values. And here it will be opposite now. So what is the objective of dictionary comprehension? This is actually again like you will see in hardly even the book also. Even you will not get even the example of dictionary comprehension in the books. Okay. So, but then what the objective is, like if you want to perform some action using a single line, it is possible by writing the script in the dictionary also, and you can modify your dictionary. Let's say in the list we are having one list and you want to modify the list and you perform some action. Yes, you can do it, and that too in a single line. Provided you have that logic, you know how to apply it. So mostly the advanced programmer, mostly the experienced programmer practices this thing, and then the newcomer, if they see this kind of code, they don't understand also. So here, let me tell you, like the freshers may not understand this kind of code if they do not have the enough practice on the the advanced tools of the Python, like the list comprehension and the dictionary comprehension. Okay, so so Pythonic way. This is the code which we say it is a Pythonic way of writing the code. And what is Pythonic way of writing the code? What is Pythonic way? The Pythonic way of writing the code means writing the code in a more comprehensive way, in a very less lines of code. Whenever I say Pythonic way means write less, okay, means write less number of lines and do more.
Yep.
See, there's a concept called thinking in Python, and there's a concept called thinking in Java. So thinking in Python is different than thinking in Java, thinking in other programming language, C++. So what does thinking means here? See why? Because even there's a book actually. Whatever I'm saying, there's a book. Like thinking in Python is one of the advanced Python level book is available, where programmer need to think differently now. It's like more innovative, where you need to think, okay, how we can reduce lines of code by Pythonic way of writing the code. How you can make it, how you can make the code as a more comprehensive, okay, by using the tools like by using the filter function or map function, by using the Python existing library itself. So if you got that comfort level of using the library, the number of lines of code in the Python will be reduced.
Okay.
So like, let's say in Java, you are writing 100 lines of code. Python program will say, oh, you did by 100 lines. I will do the same thing in a 20 line now. So this way, the productivity also increase, and then obviously the logic has to be then different, and where you have to make sure that you're adding the very, very less number of lines of code in the Python, and that way it becomes very easy to troubleshoot also. So more the lines of code, let's say you have 10,000 or 50,000 lines of code, it is more the troubleshooting, more the challenge.
No, I understood, sir. Yeah, I understood that in the beginning itself.
Right. So this is what the Python says. Okay, write this in a more comprehensive way now. So if you want to write a more comprehensive way, we have to use the tool like dictionary comprehension, list comprehension, and the built-in function library also. But can we do this program? Can we have a same output without this tool?
No.
Yes, output you can have without this tool also. Output you'll get it, but then number of lines could be increased then.
Increased, okay.
That's why I say thinking in Python means reducing the lines of code. So you have to think like, okay, the same logic, how you can write in a different way.
Different way, yep.
Okay, so the other technique which you want to learn. Okay, so this was about how we can write a code in the list, how we can write a same code in a single line using the dictionary comprehension and using the list comprehension. Okay, now we are going to understand the next topic. Maybe we'll take a break for 5 minutes, and we'll start a new topic like a Python model itself.
Okay, sure,
This is
sir.
our topic for today. New topic, and we'll work out on this.
Okay, sir.
This model topic.
Oh, modules introduction. Okay, sure, sir.
Yep.